Welcome back to Capital Today. You're joining me, Zunara Said, on this very special segment of FaceTime with CEO. My co-host Raj Aria will be interviewing Nick Intan Rashid Mambo, who is the founder of Alana Ilham Creations. Over to you, Raj.
Thank you very much for the introduction, Zunaira. Now, thank you, Nick, for being on our show today. And I see you are dressed in your own batik creation by the looks of it.
Yes, I am. Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Now, before we start talking about batik and how you got into this particular industry, I'm sure some of you will be interested to know about your personal background, which is vastly different from where you are right now.
Yeah, actually, my background is mainly advertising. That's what I studied, and that's what I have been working for about 8 to 10 years, around there. It was mainly my passion. I've always wanted to be involved in the creative business, but I never thought that I could actually be in the creative team per se. So I'm more in the management team. But so what happened is, I got married and we wanted to start a family, and for me, my thoughts are advertising is not it for me if I were to raise a family. Wow. You know, we work from morning to morning, you know. So I resigned, but then again, when I'm so used to working day and night, you just can't sit still. So you wanted to do something. I used my spare time to think about what I wanted to do. So I've always loved batik. I grew up with batik. So my father is from Terengganu. So yeah, I've been exposed to not so much the process of batik, but batik in general, in the textile. My mother wears a lot of batik, and I've always admired her pieces, you know. So I thought, okay, why not give it a try, batik. So I religiously visited Central Market and Complex Craft in Jalan Conley almost every day to learn how to make batik. Initially just in a small frames. And then eventually I did some research, and yeah, I found out that there is a place that teaches you on a bigger scale. So then, yeah, that perks up my interest in batik.
Right. You mentioned that you were in the advertising industry for 8 years. Huh?
Yeah.
So when did you resign specifically?
In 2009.
2009. So it's about 4 or 5 years has elapsed since then.
Yeah.
So the first step was trying to immerse yourself, trying to get a hands-on understanding of what batik is all about, right?
Yes.
Right.
Well, actually, I wasn't even planning on making it into a business. It was merely a hobby. Yeah. But I made a first piece, my own piece, and I wore it to a wedding. I was heavily pregnant at that time, so I created a maternity wear for myself. And surprisingly, I received a lot of positive feedback, and that's when I realized that I could actually make money out of this hobby.
Right. So the irony was it was merely a passion or interest to pass time, to get over the restlessness.
Yes, exactly.
Of staying at home because you're used to being on the ball all the time, right?
Yeah. So I never had any fashion background or business for that matter. Not directly. I mean, I have been managing clients and whatnot, but it was not a business per se. So yeah, I mean, it was quite, that's why I didn't plan on starting it as a business. But opportunities come, so I thought
when you least expect.
Yes.
Right. Now, you've been in this industry for somewhat 5 years right now. What's your observation, perhaps from your childhood? As you mentioned, you've been surrounded by the batik culture, which is synonymous to Malaysia. And of course, during the time when you're immersed in this business full on, what is the changes you have seen?
Well, batik, before those, it's mainly used, you know, the batik sarungs. Mothers use it, housewives use it at home, and it's something that you sought for only when you want to attend a private function or a wedding or Hari Raya, you know. You don't generally use batik on a daily basis. It's considered a formal wear. But now, batik is not only used as garments, it's also an accessories. You can even create, they use it for, you know, interior decoration, wall art, and you get to wear it day-to-day basis as well. It has, how do I say, evolved from just formal wear to even casual.
Right, because perception-wise, it's like traditional, very niche or certain specific occasions only. But perhaps now it's changing its field to become more contemporary.
Yes.
Used on a daily basis, perhaps.
Yeah, yes, definitely. And I've seen, see, that's exactly why also I'm in this. I have nothing against the traditional prints, nothing. But I feel that to move forward, I mean, I wanted to preserve this. It's our heritage.
Definitely.
So to move forward, we can't just keep on doing the same thing again and again. So we have to follow the trends, different prints. And nowadays, people are more adventurous, more bold. Those days, it's either
Very conservative.
Yes, very conservative. The colors chosen are very dark and dull. But nowadays you see on the
Safe.
road, yeah, safe. That's the word, safe. But now people are more adventurous, and I see there's opportunity in creating different and more radical pieces in my creations. You see.
Right,
So
right.
yeah.
I guess it's about keeping its cultural aspects, but giving it a new twist. Because as we all know now, the younger generation, they're more discerning, as you mentioned, more bold, more daring, more adventurous. Want something which is perhaps sometimes a bit more flamboyant or a bit more out there, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, the youngsters, I notice, they don't quite like wearing batik. Again, back to what I mentioned just now, it's just something that they thought they would wear on Hari Raya and whatnot.
Perception,
Perception, yes. It shouldn't be that anymore, you see, because there are many ways of wearing batik, even if it's just a scarf or a headband or whatever, there are many ways. So yeah, I hope the younger generation would start appreciating batik.
Okay. Now, one thing as we see that batik also has a place in our fashion scene here in Malaysia. Are there any particular fashion designers, batik fashion designers, which were your inspiration or your role model when you decided to take it to the next level and do it for a living, perhaps?
I love Inai batik. Yes, they carry very contemporary designs, not something that you see every day for the past few years. And I admire Datuk Tom Abang
That's
Zafri.
right.
Yes.
That's right.
She has managed to create different ways of using batik, and it still looks quite traditional, but it's also very contemporary. It's like a merge. She created a bridge between these two worlds. So yes, these two designers.
Right. So I guess it's about versatility as well, which is very important, rather than just pigeonholing as just like that, but doing new things with batik.
Yeah, yes.
Right. Now, moving forward with regards to this, when did you decide that, hey, this is something that you want to take it on seriously, full on as a business?
That's it, as I mentioned just now. After getting
feedback,
the feedback, and I've gotten a few orders from my friends and family. That they say, why don't you make me one, So I started off with getting, per order, made to order basis. By that time I already have a baby.
Okay.
So I have to, juggle in between. But eventually, as the demand grows, I receive more orders, and I realized that I can't do this my own. I need to get some help. So I think that was it, 2010. That I decided to get some help, start up a company, establish a company, and hire some staff.
Wow, sounds like a good problem to have. Huh? You can't cope on your own,
Yes.
and then you need to get more help in terms of meeting the demand.
Yeah.
Now, for the benefit of some of us, from knowing absolutely zero in terms of making batik and then making it yourself, can you just share with us what's the process?
Well, definitely media, internet plays an important role. I did a lot of research, I meet a lot of people. My sifu, also I call it, the one that taught me how to make batik, I learned a lot from him. I asked, I followed him to meet to get the raw materials, all that. I speak to, I studied magazines and things like that. You need to study it to understand it, because I believe you shouldn't just jump in,
Yeah, of course. So you did a theoretical bit and of course a hands-on practical bit as well, which is so important in order to get it all together on a broader scale. Now, how long was that process, that learning process from your seafood, for example?
It's still going on.
Oh, still going on, huh?
Yes, for me, you have to keep on learning.
That's right.
There's always new techniques, new methods, new materials to experiment, to explore, The learning process should be continuous. Yeah. And coming to, batik is batik, but you have to merge it with fashion. So I decided to also learn how to sew. Before, I couldn't even sew a button.
Wow, that's a vast difference from knowing absolutely nothing
Yes.
to where you are right now. Huh?
Yes.
Was it a very steep learning curve?
It was for me, yes. But I guess I pulled through. You need to. I guess I'm very passionate about it,
Yep.
and that's why there are times that I feel like maybe I should just give up. But think of it again. I've come this far,
Yeah.
so I should keep on going.
Right.
And it has been a wonderful journey, I must say. Something different. Out of the norm. It's not the normal routine. There's nothing routine about
Every
it.
day is a new day.
Exactly.
New challenges,
Yeah,
doing new things as well.
New ideas to portray on my white. Well, the fabric is my canvas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like an open canvas. It's entirely up to your creativity, and you have total freedom to express yourself. But that's the
Exactly.
beautiful bit about it. Huh?
Yeah.
Now, when you started off, the two major elements is, of course, the creative side, which you started out with zero. You learned along the way. Then the flip side of it is, of course, the business aspects. The dollars and cents, how to market it,
Yeah.
how to do your balance sheet, your accounts, the finance. So that as well, you didn't have a background.
Not quite.
So you had a seafood to assist you in terms of the learning process on the creative side.
Yeah.
But what about the dollars and cents side?
I would give credit to my husband. Yes, he's very apt in all this, and I am blessed with very wonderful friends who are always willing to help. I have friends who are, an auditor, and like I said, I meet a lot of people. Reconnect with old friends, and learn from them the nature of every single aspect of the business. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's very, very important. So to soak it all up and people to support you. I think that the support mechanism is also very important, because you would have your downtime, as you mentioned
Yes.
earlier, where you're wondering, why am I doing this? It's so much work, so much effort, so many obstacles and challenges.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, the easier route would be to just hire people to do it for you. But I guess in a way, I want to be able to know. I may not be good at accounting, for example, but I need to at least know
What's going on, eh?
Yeah, what's going on. I believe in that. You need to know. And then maybe you do hire people who are better than you at it.
Of course.
But you need to know.
Of course.
So yeah, that's why I said the learning process is still going on.
Right, I guess that's very important
Yeah.
at the end of the day. Now, initially when you started out, what was your biggest challenge? Because yours is like totally empty.
Yeah. I would say being new. Being new is the biggest challenge for me. The fashion industry in Malaysia is getting quite crowded in a good way. Yeah, there are a lot of new fashion designers emerging every day, and they're very talented. So coming from a non-fashion background, I would say I'm not really, probably my fashion skills and whatnot is probably not 100% yet. And I have to compete with these people,
Sure.
you see. So to be out there is not easy, especially when, you don't have enough, you don't have financial for advertising and things like that. So how do you market yourself, your brand, and how do you to convince people that my work carries value. So it's still I'm still new at this point. So yes, being new is a very big challenge. It's very challenging to see people, like when I'm open up a bazaar, I join a booth to sell. Like they would come and say, "Hey, this is very nice," but when they see the label, they've never heard of it.
That's right.
And they're also coming to that. We are generally very brand conscious. We don't know that. We don't know who this designer is. So even though we like the design, we may not buy it.
Yeah.
Because we'd rather spend that money buying some other names that we know. That kind of thing. So yes, being new.
Yeah. And I think what you have just mentioned is very prevalent among Malaysians, that brand consciousness in terms of having that certain status which is associated with that.
Sorry again?
The branding that people place so much emphasis in terms of the brand that they wear. It's so important in terms of maintaining their social status, as opposed to perhaps trying something which actually looks good but new and unknown perhaps.
Yes, I guess everybody's almost the same, you know. If you could wear something that is really well known, I mean, it shows that you can actually afford that, you know. And yeah, you'd be proud to be wearing a very well-known designer's label. But that's the thing, coming to that, how is the new designers are going to rise if you're not going to support
Give them a chance. It's like a chicken and egg, eh?
Yeah. So you should, I mean, I believe it's a struggle for me. But I guess friends, like again, support from friends and family, they would wear my creations, they would go around, and then people, word of mouth.
That's right. I think that's the most powerful form of marketing or brand awareness, word of mouth.
Yes, and it's free.
Yes, the most beautiful part, it is
Yes.
free as well. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break right now. We've got lots more we'd like to talk about in terms of your journey in the batik world, the batik fashion world. We're going to have go back to Zunaira, who's going to talk more about corporate developments and business news here on Capital Today. But don't fret not, because we'll be back for our second part of our interview right after that. So stay tuned on Capital Today.